Alright guys, so we're back on working on Samantha's CRV, and she currently has oh shit. Alright guys, so we are back on working on Samantha's RAV4, and it currently has a check engine light P420 for the catalytic converter. So we haven't smogged it yet. We did smog it once and it failed smog, so we had like high NOx levels. So the cat light just came on, and so we're gonna be replacing that with a new one. This is a MagnaFlow one. It's a CARB legal one. I saw a guy on YouTube, he tried to put this on and it didn't fit, but hopefully this one will work for this car and hopefully it's okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and take off like the headers and the cat together, and then we'll see if we could get this on there and hopefully it fits. But yep, just gotta try to get her car to smog, and that way she could drive it on the road. But it's gonna be a lot of work. We're gonna have to take off the header, all the bolts, and then have to take off the alternator too to get to some of the header bolts. But I'm gonna see if I could get around that. Let me take all this first, and then we'll see what we could do. And then we're gonna have to unbolt some of the stuff down there. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Taking off the heat shield. Yeah, we gotta take off the header just because you guys can see here there is no room to access the bolts on the back over here, plus the oil filters right there. So Dan, do you have to take off the heat shield every time you change the oil? Huh? To take off the heat shield every time you change the oil? It's like right here. But I'm gonna take off the alternator too, because there's that one bolt right there. Okay, we got the header off, and her valves are dirty. See that? Oh man, they have a lot of gunk. This motor is a really high mileage motor though. You can see those are all white there. These are white. Not really that good. It's not a good sign of a healthy motor. After she smogs her car, I'm gonna run an oil catch can on this car and try to prevent that from even further. But and then maybe run just fuel cleaner into this car for a while, do more frequent oil changes, and just see if that helps clean up this engine a little bit, because the inside here was gunky too. So more frequent oil changes will help clean out that gunk, and should be okay. But everything came out pretty smooth, and that's because I added PB Blaster to all the bolts. Let that soak in. So whenever you guys are working on header bolts, guys, that are old like this, make sure to use PB Blaster. It will save you a lot of headache. And here is the original header, currently soaking it in PB Blaster right now too, so I can remove the cat better. And let's look at the cat. It's pretty much done. It has all of that white buildup, and these honeycombs are pretty much done. So this is the new one. Like I said, if you want to compare it, it is a little bit longer, and if you put it this way, you can see it's about like an inch or two longer than the original one. But I think we'll get away with it because the downpipe right there, you can push it down a little bit, so I think we'll be able to get away with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I'm not sure why the other guy couldn't do it. His looked just like this, and he had a MagnaFlow one too, but maybe he just wasn't able to push down his downpipe. But we'll see if we run into that issue too. But yeah, let me go ahead and take this off. The only thing that sucks is we're not gonna have this heat shield no more, but it's okay. I think it should be fine, and we're gonna have to get some new O2 sensors. But let's go ahead and take these off and put the new cat on. So I got the header on, and everything is tight now, and it is off, so it doesn't fit. So everything lines up like the bracket holes there, so you guys can see. Let me try to focus it right there. That lines up, but it does not line up with the downpipe. So let me show you guys right here, and the downpipe is really off. Even if I line it there, the angle right there is off. And then that's a lot of tension as well. But I'm thinking that I can just cut this flange at an angle, and then it should be okay to just weld it on like that. All right, so I'm just gonna take out this down pipe and then cut the flange and then re-weld it so that the angle is correct. But this is probably why they say it doesn't fit. You can see that there's a lot of gap right there, and you're not gonna be able to fix that because the header is already fixed in place, and you can't bend this anymore without actually cutting and welding it. So this is pretty dumb because you pay almost $1,000 for this cat, and it's California compliant, and it doesn't even fit your vehicle right off the shelf. So that really sucks. You have to take it to like an exhaust shop for them to actually cut and fix it so that it will actually fit. But that's a lot of work and a lot of money for something that costs that much. So, but it's all right, we have to do it, and hopefully the EPA gets rid of CARB in California, guys. If you guys are keeping up with the California laws, that's something that's coming up, and hopefully we don't have to smog our cars here in California no more. That's kind of a lot of hope, but staying hopeful. But for now, we still have to do these California stuff, which sucks a lot. But let's go ahead and take off that down pipe, and then we're gonna go ahead and cut this and re-weld it onto it so that we could go and smog this car. All right, guys, so I went ahead and cut the flange off of the down pipe, and then I mounted it right here so you guys can see. Now the flange is nice and flush to the piping. Now I just have to put this on, angle it where I need to, and then just re-weld it back on. So Samantha went to go get some nuts and bolts for me, and I'm going to go ahead and try to weld this on right now. So what we're going to do is just put the piping on, tack weld it, and then see where we need to go after that. All right, guys, let's see what I'm working with, and it's all lined up now. You can see there, just got to adjust a little bit more, like that, and it should be good. Then we're just gonna tack weld it, take it all off, and then weld it. I put some pins in the back just so that it's aligned when I weld it, so that when we put it back, it's even and it lines up. So let me go ahead and just fix this up, tack weld it, and then I'll see you guys once I'm done with that. All right, guys, just finished tack welding it, and you can see the tack welds look ugly, but should be okay. We're gonna go ahead and weld it now and close it all off, and hopefully it's sealed enough to not have any exhaust leaks. All right, I just finished welding, and the welding is pretty ugly, but it should work, and hopefully it doesn't leak anything. So I'm gonna wait for it to kind of cool down, and then I'll try to do a smoke test to see if it's leaking anything. But so far so good. Some spots look really good, like there, and then some spots look pretty bad, and it's because I had to pass over the tack welds again. But it looks all right. Not the best, of course, but as long as it gets the job done. This is like a janky one anyway, so I don't really care how it looks like as long as it works and it lines up. So let's go ahead and try to put it on when it cools down, and hopefully everything lines up the way it should. All right, so I got everything hooked up, and it now fits. It is the correct angle now, and as you guys can see there, it's all mounted. The welds aren't that great, like I said, but everything works good. Got some new bolts and nuts from Home Depot, and it's looking real good now. Finally angled right. The back down pipe is bolted up and clean now. It is now nighttime, so I'm gonna try to finish this up, fire her up, and see how she runs. But just went to the stores, which I had to go to 2 AutoZones and get some O2 sensors because the one here was just messed up. I tried to take it off, heat it up, you guys can see there, and it just wasn't coming out. It's pretty much seized onto this old cat, so we're not able to take it out. But I think it's time to buy some new ones anyways. Use this in-force stuff, and it still didn't do the job, even with the torch. So this is pretty much done. Just gotta go ahead and toss this, and hopefully this new cat and everything works good, and we could pass smog and then finally smog this car. So just gonna go ahead and put these on now. Brand new O2 sensor. These are Bosch. I couldn't get Denso ones, they just didn't have it in stock. Put some anti-seize on here, and we should be good to go. Nice brand new gasket as well. That looks real nice right there. Gonna go ahead and plug this thing back in. We'll plug it right in. And it's hard to do 2 minutes. There we go, nice and clicky. And here we go, brand new O2 sensor for the top. Now it's got to install the bottom, and that one should be pretty easy as well. And then let's get it in. All right, everything is put back together, and I put the alternator back too. Just gonna plug in the battery, and we're gonna go ahead and start the car, and hopefully everything is good. So start it. And that should be good. Let's go ahead and start the car. There you go, it quieted down a lot. Everything seems okay. I haven't put the heat shield back on, but we're just firing her up right now. Everything seems good. Let's go ahead and check underneath. I don't feel any leaks. Doesn't seem like there's any leaks. She's smoking. All right, so everything seems pretty good. Hopefully it passes smog now, and we'll follow up with that once we're done. Just got to button up a little things now, but she's idling pretty good, and hopefully everything is good. Nothing seems to be leaking so far. But yeah, stay tuned, guys, and hopefully we'll be done with smog next time I see you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Peace.